and good morning. How you doing?
I'm awoke. That was terrible. I need more coffee. It's Woke Wednesday.
It is Wednesday, and we're woking on it.
Oh no, we should just stop. That's a swing and a miss.
Now, I finished the last show that I was producing yesterday and got home and hit the rack at like 11, and I've been up since 04, cutting yesterday's show into segments to see if we can't up these numbers a bit. You know, it's funny. It seemed like it took us forever to bridge that last gap from like 580 to 600, and then all of a sudden, so you know, one or two more pushes like that, we break 1,000, and all of a sudden, this becomes a hell of a lot more viable and rapid growing, at least in theory. So,
let's say hello to the peoples.
Indeed. I think we had Pit Danny, our first actual supporter with the first blood this morning. Danny is just banging it on all cylinders. Hell yeah.
There's Patrick Brown.
Patrick, it's always good to see you in the morning, and I know that for several of you guys, it's hard to catch us in the morning because you're at work. And let me know actually in the chat if any of you would be interested in having this available as an audio-only podcast. You can listen to the soothing sounds of my crooning without the distraction of, you know, articles and actual facts on screen. That's something that I think I can arrange, but I'm trying to get my head around it. Tricia's with us. Good morning. Good morning. I got a Steve and Megan. Good morning. Most of my favorite ladies are in the chat already. There's Danny and Habeas. I don't even know if I want to say good morning to you anymore, dude, because just damn, son.
Pancho Ramirez is with us, and of course Danny from Polytech. Hello. God damn it.
It's okay.
The TPS report. And look, doesn't TPS mean the Polytech show?
Yes.
Like, didn't they change their name to their name?
They changed their name to their name report.
I mean, that's like going from Daniel to Danielle. Stop it. I'm just going to call you Danny. All right? Like,
indeed. And Rebel Jack, I can't remember what it was now. I saw that you made a comment on, I think it was yesterday's video, and I'm going to have to go look at it and reply to it, because I think we missed each other on something there, but I was going to say something about it. Now it just slipped my mind. So we'll have to get back to it later.
So couple of,
it's Woke Wednesday.
And here we go. There's not much that makes Chris and I uncomfortable that we think is awkward. And yet somehow.
So, okay. Before we do this, I want to give a big shout out and a very big hearty thank you to somebody very special, very important, who has been doing just yeoman's fucking work the last about 2 weeks. And that's this guy, actually, because I have been busy as a squirrel trying to shit a pineapple. And all the while, Cameron has actually been taking point on a lot of the content as far as tracking down the stories and trying to keep all that in front of me. So I'm still up at balls o'clock in the morning to design a thumbnail and do the description and the search engine optimization and all the back-end technical administrative stuff that makes the show work and makes it pretty. Cam finding the articles and sending them to me, and us having a brief discussion about it in the evenings before the morning of the show has been a huge help. And I just want to say, man, fucking appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, man. I had no idea. I still won't touch your pee-pee.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Okay.
Steve, remember Rambo? No, it's okay. It's okay. You can touch it. So, this is, speaking of uncomfortable situations, Sofia Jirau is Victoria's Secret's first model with Down syndrome. And if I'm being fair, looking at her, she's not over the top, obviously, afflicted. I mean,
in these
you
pictures.
can see it a little bit. In some of her other pictures, yeah, in these pictures, they've done a lot of work to hide the facts. And guys, when Cameron first suggested this one, I told him, I almost don't even
No.
I don't even want to do it because I don't want to be mean to the poor girl, right? I don't want to beat up on her for her disability.
Pretty. Like, right? That's...
And yeah, absolutely. You know, girls want to feel pretty. Take your trans fluid gender affirming bullshit. Boys want to be tough. Girls want to feel pretty.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? That's basic. And it's as biologically basic as actual sexual dichotomy. This girl, I kind of want to say this poor girl because this feels like exploitation, but at the same time, I'm not willing to say that having Down syndrome is a reason that you shouldn't be able to pursue something like this.
I know it's in a weird area. You know what though? In all seriousness, what is with the left and wanting to celebrate sexualizing everything? Like, I didn't even know this. Oh, wait a minute. We got to make sure that hey, have you ever thought you could get turned on by somebody with Downs? I got you, fam. I got you. Now celebrate your diversity and inclusion. And it's like, no, we can stop. Believe it or not, there's a point where we could just stop sexualizing everything. Because the problem is, of course, this is another one of those things where we're going to blur the lines. Like, what happens when Victoria's Secret has a model that's not the age of consent? Like, because that's part of the question that's being asked here. You mean a model that's
targeted at MAPS?
Well, not even targeted at MAPS. I mean, a model that is targeted at other girls who are also not the age of consent. Like, it's in and of itself, like, if we're going to treat people equally, we treat people equally. They're allowed to make good and bad decisions equally. Fair enough. But I think the reason why this is upsetting is because it is just another link in the chain, man. We're just gonna get so woke. There's no reason to even wear clothes anymore, and it just I don't know. Like, I'm with you.
So, and Alex, I think you're right. They handpicked the least afflicted model they could find for this virtue signal. Let's not forget, we're talking about the Sports Illustrated swims, or I'm sorry, we're talking about the Victoria's Secret. They've done the body positive thing, right? And I don't remember who the model was. It wasn't the anorexic behemoth, was it? It was the other fat broad.
I don't know.
Tess Holliday is the anorexic behemoth. She's the 400-pound body positivity model that is struggling with anorexia now. It's like
Sean Stryker says that she's probably smarter than most models. Hey, just for comparison, you know
that's a fair and cruel criticism.
Hey, let's you know what we should do? We should look at a couple of other things that Victoria's Secret has done. Just let's start with other virtue signals and then move on to the good old days, and then just move on. Because, yikes.
You know, I'm married, and I'm good, but we can't do business with Victoria's Secret.
There are so many things about what you just said that I'm going to choose to not comment on. No, I sent you things in our individual.
They don't make bras in that size.
Again, so many things to comment on that I'm just not gonna. I sent you a picture of the
You sent me another picture?
No, of this of a certain soccer player.
Oh!
It's in our, see, remember? It's right there.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
You wanted to talk about, you wanted to look at this.
Well, I mean, it's just the virtue signaling, because I'll say this.
Yeah, the Victoria's Secret Collective with these 6 women and that dude.
Yeah, exactly.
That super severe German-looking dude.
Yeah, exactly. Tell me you're a lesbian without telling me you're a lesbian, right? Like, it's...
Oh, we're talking about the same dude, right?
Yeah, Megan Rapinoe. The dude that whose awesome super soccer team got beat by high schoolers.
And is super, super proud and needs you to know in every statement that it makes that she packs a box lunch. Because it's literally the only thing about her that's interesting.
Right. At least she's more attractive than her. We were talking about
Sophia
this.
Looks like a chick.
Yeah, like we were talking about this on the phone. Like, I don't have a problem with the whole, let's take like the girl next door and, sexify her a little bit and make her look pretty and all that. Like, that's great. Let's do it.
You mean like that?
Oh no, that's Kimberly Guilfoyle is everything a Victoria's Secret model is supposed to be. It's just, let's start with somebody attractive in the first place. Like, as soon as they were like, Megan Rapinoe is going to be our new Victoria's Secret model.
Steve says Rapinoe looks like Trent Reznor. Oh, if only.
That's funny. So Alex says Victoria's Secret's entire business model is exploiting women. Why would anyone be surprised that they're exploiting the handicapped? Alex, I'm going to disagree with you, sir. Victoria's Secret exploits guys like me.
Yeah, Victoria's Secret is in the business of exploiting a man's paycheck.
Right. Women just happen to lie somewhere in that Venn diagram. But I promise, the people Victoria's Secret exploits typically have penises.
Because the argument goes like this. But honey, it's not for me. It's for you. It doesn't go, I'm single and this is going to help me land a man. and Alex again with the zinger, exploiting women and Chinese labor, hell of a company. But Alex, I put this question to you: what else are women and Chinamen for?
Oh, okay.
That was my plug for the Democrat Party for today. Moving on. Okay, so this story,
this one is funny to me.
It is and it isn't, and there's a lot of humor to be had here. And there's a lot of angry that's worth having here. But let's tag it. Let's jump right into it. Disney confirms T'Challa is dead in Black Panther 2. So the trailer dropped for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And it is an absolute smorgasbord of McGirl power, fist pumping, Black Panther, spoiler alert, Black Panther's not going to be in the movie. Now,
there's going to be a Black Panther in it. There's somebody's going to wear the suit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, now, in fairness, but before I get called out for not knowing what's going on. Okay. Here's the thing. So Chadwick Boseman, who brought the movie Black Panther to life with his charismatic intensity and regal performance, has died. Boseman battled colon cancer since 2016 and died at home with his family and wife by his side, according to a statement posted on his Twitter account. He was 43. Okay, now this was 2020, August, I think.
Which means he was fighting cancer while he filmed Infinity War and Endgame. So
yep, and Black Panther.
So what an absolute. Well, they filmed Black Panther first, they actually filmed Infinity War and Endgame. Whatever, you know how movies are. Anyhow, he had cancer throughout this process, and man, could you tell?
Nope.
Like, what an absolute badass. And it really is sad that he's dead because he was a good actor. In fact,
like this statement here, brought the movie Black Panther to life with his charismatic intensity and regal performance. The only thing that I have a problem with here is the idea that the movie Black Panther was brought to life. Did you see Black Panther?
I did see Black Panther.
See, I made it through about the first 20 or 30 minutes and I just couldn't take it. It was just, I mean, remember the old blaxploitation movies?
Yes.
Right?
How do you like your ribs?
It just felt like that. It just felt like
constant,
the
blaxploitation
obnoxious
movies were fun.
pandering, and it was pandering to not me, right? It was actively pandering to not just not me, but to the idea of being against white Americans. And the whole
Rebel Jack
well
says
played, Rebel
Kaepernick
Jack.
has a cancer named after him now.
That's for you, my man. That's for you. So the God, I lost my train of thought.
That's quite all right. So now there's backlash against the backlash. See, what's funny to me, it's not funny that Chadwick Boseman died in his 40s
No.
of colon cancer. But what's funny is the woke of the woke of the woke of the woke has now turned into the snake that's eating its own tail. And because Wakanda Forever is super woke with black women instead of black men, now it's destroying itself. And that's the thing, okay? We keep trying to tell you guys, when you court this left-wing audience, okay? We saw it with Lindsay Ellis, who's about as liberal as they get and an extremely talented content creator. She hasn't posted anything to YouTube in months because she got canceled for, correctly stating that there are certain things about Japan and anime that are true. And
yes.
how dare she point that out? And how dare she point out that there are certain things like Avatar, The Last Airbender, that are similar?
How dare you notice a thing?
How dare you notice a thing was done deliberately and artistically, okay?
Just because we're cramming shit in your face doesn't mean you're allowed to smell it.
So,
I'm trying, man. I'm trying as hard as I can not to smell it.
Yeah, so fans call for... Well, and this is funny, this seems to be true. Fans
call for Marvel Black Panther 2 boycott after biggest attack in MCU history. Over the weekend, Marvel Studios finally gave fans a first official look at the upcoming Black Panther Wakanda Forever 2022 from director Ryan Coogler. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to say. The Black Panther movie did the thing that Hollywood has been doing for years now. Right? We work in the film space. I look for film gigs. I do film jobs. And one of the things that you will notice a lot, and Black Panther did this, is they will say, hey, this is a call for cast and crew. And then there will be a list of people like you need not apply. They will actively state, we're only interested in hiring black crew or gay crew or female crew, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Or some mixture of the whole Painbow collective. And they get away with it, right? And it's absolutely disgusting. The original Black Panther movie was celebrated just over the top because the only white people involved were the two Tolkien whites.
I got it. That was a good joke, but it might sail over some people say. Anyhow, so.
But they went out of their way to have an all black crew, and that's illegal. But it doesn't matter. It's only illegal if you're a straight white male. It's not illegal if you're anything else. The landmark movie in the world of Kevin Feige's Marvel Cinematic Universe, Black Panther 2018. Was it that long ago? Anyway, the first black superhero-led movie in the franchise's then decade-long tenure as the world's most successful movie series. They have to say first black superhero-led movie in the franchise.
Because of Blade.
Because they kept saying first ever black superhero-led movie, and the rest of us were like, okay, so Blade was fun. And I'll grant that Steel wasn't that great, but
it exists.
It still happened.
Yeah. It exists.
And I mean, there's a good argument to be made for Richard Roundtree. So with the late Chadwick Boseman in the title role of King T'Challa, aka the Black Panther, surrounded by a cast that included Michael B. Jordan. Many of the Black Panther's characters have appeared in some way throughout the MCU since 2018. Boseman, of course, made his debut in 2016 in Captain America: Civil War, where the Wakandan warrior sought Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier, after the fatal attack on his father, King T'Chaka. Good God, get to the attacks. How far down do we have to go?
You know what? We should just skip to the picture. Oh, here we go.
Okay. So, Derek Boseman told TMZ that his late brother would have wanted the character to be recast because he knew that T'Challa is bigger than just one man.
And that's canonically true of the character, by the way.
Exactly. In fact, it's not even just canonically true in the comic series. In the movie, when T'Chaka died, that's when the mantle of the Black Panther was passed to T'Challa. So it's not even something that the MCU would have to go out of its way to establish. No, this comes from the canonical comic book original. So we don't have to accept T'Challa being killed off in a fictional MCU because the actor who portrayed him in one solo film has unfortunately passed, as Boseman's family members have publicly stated an agreement with recast T'Challa. Keeping 616 T'Challa alive honors Chadwick. Right? No matter what, Chadwick will always have a place in our heart. He's our Black Panther, but the show must go on. It's not about dignity or disrespecting the character. Boseman would have wanted recast T'Challa to pass the beacon rather than killing the character with all this honor and murals.
You know what? I'm just going to request that you go ahead and pull up the picture that I sent you, because it really
this one.
That one. Yep.
Okay. Go ahead.
I was this is from Financial Juneteenth with Dr. Boyce Watkins Live. I'm going to guess this is about black stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. I was super hyped about the movie Black Panther. It was well done, and I love the work of director Ryan Coogler. But when I saw the trailer for Black Panther 2, I admit that it felt like a chick flick. Black men were missing all throughout the trailer, turning the film into an empowerment infomercial for the local Girl Scouts. As a father of daughters, I am 100% support in the idea of my daughters being empowered to take on the world, but I don't want them to think they have to shave their heads and fight like men in order to show their feminine power. So, in other words, black men made a mediocre movie, Black Panther, $1 billion movie. And then, oh, you guys want a sequel? Aha! We're going to make it about chicks. Because there's so many things wrong here. It's like when Kathleen Kennedy said the Force is female. No, it's not, you twat waffle. Okay? Like, it's not. First of all, Yoda explained what the Force was very clearly. Okay?
And he didn't say it was male either.
That's right. Right. It's... So... But your core audience is not female. Are there girls who like Star Wars? Yes. But are there more boys who like Star Wars? Also, yes.
By an extraordinary margin.
It doesn't matter if you cast Daisy Ridley as the lead, if you do trilogy, it's still gonna be like when you saw all those like fan trailers of guys just like crying, I can't believe Han Solo's back. How many of them were women? Oh, that's right, 0.
Yeah.
Oh, but the Force is female, and it's the same thing here. Like, this is a power fantasy for men, and there's nothing wrong with that. But everything that he said in his comment there, like, I don't want my daughters to think that they have to shave their head and fight like men. Yeah. So it's just hysterical to me, because that guy with a name like Financial Juneteenth, I'm gonna guess he identifies as liberal. Just gonna guess, okay? And they're even eating themselves. It's even penetrating their bubbles, and they're destroying themselves. So, maybe Disney becoming the evil giant mouse corporation is going to end up being one of those things that's the best thing that ever happened, because they're just going to keep poking people in their sore spots over and over again. You can only shift the Overton window so far over. And then Alex from the TPS report says, why wouldn't they recast? We've had a dozen Batman, Superman, Spider-Man actors.
Yeah, shit. Look at the frickin' Atlas Shrugged movies. They recast the entire cast in each individual film in a single trilogy.
I have yet to look at the Atlas.
It was a total cinematic abortion of a literary classic.
So yeah, it's just, this one's funny to me because they built up this thing. It's a super black power message and, be a proud, strong black man.
Well,
but here's some women.
And here's the other piece of it. And we had a third story we're going to get to. We're not going to have time to deal with that. So
this is probably the most important of the three. Whoops.
Maybe that's just what we'll do tomorrow. In fact, like I said yesterday, it's probably good for a whole half-hour show by itself. But I want to just bring y'all's attention to these real quick. Charlie's Angels failed because the franchise era, as we know it, is changing. No, Charlie's Angels, the Charlie's Angels reboot failed because their initial marketing campaign was, this movie is about hating men. This is an action movie for women. And then the producer came out and complained when they bombed in the box office and said, men just don't want to see powerful women on screen.
Bullshit.
I'm sorry.
Laughing Ellen
Did you
Ripley.
miss Alien? Did you miss Terminator? Did you miss, I don't know, the other Charlie's Angels movie? No, men don't want to go and pay money to be berated, which is what you explicitly said you were gonna do. Right? There are women that like comic book movies, sure. You know what there are not? There are not 800 billion in gross global box office sales in women who want to watch comic book movies generally.
I missed Terminator Dark Fate.
I didn't see it.
Because
and that was another one. Woke Terminator tanks at box office. Surprise, surprise. And it's because the frickin' movie opened with the marketing campaign saying this movie is for women. It's an action movie, right? Chicks like action movies too. But guess what? When you take your girl to go see a movie and she picks the movie, you're gonna see The Notebook.
Yeah, if you're really lucky, there's a Disney movie you both kind of want to see. But even that
now if you're smart, you married a chick with some warfighter in her, maybe a little recreational genocide in her background, and then you get to like a lot of the same movies. But babe, I'm sorry, the Jane Austen flicks just aren't my cup of tea most of the time. Which doesn't mean I won't watch it with you.
Right.
There's this flick called Austenland about this chick that goes to a resort that's a Jane Austen themed resort. The wife made me watch that one, totally against my will. It was hilarious.
That sounds awful. What do you do?
It was actually hilarious. It's
what do you do at a Jane Austen resort? Like, just sit around and drink tea and complain that the guy won't write love letters back to you?
Most of the comedy in the film is about how the players in the resort don't quite play ball with how the resort expects them to. So the gag is kind of, this should be boring, and somehow we're not going to let it be. It was a cute, funny movie, but not one that I would have watched if the wife hadn't wanted to watch it.
Well, and speaking of your wife, she says the statement also implies that women won't go see movies without a man. That's not true. Obviously, women will go see movies without a man. However, again, who buys the majority of movie tickets?
Right, and
dudes.
And absolutely. It is not that women don't go see movies without a man. It is that men who watch things like Star Wars, Star Trek, comic book movies will go stand in line for days to be the first one let in the theater when it launches, and then will go and see the same movie again 3, 4, 5 or more times in the theater. They'll go see the movie over and over and over again in the theater. I don't think I've ever seen a movie in the theater that I paid to see more than twice, maybe 3 times. And for me, it's always been, I saw the movie and then somebody else wanted to see it. And I said, I got nothing better going on. It was a good movie. I'll watch it again. But the hardcore nerds, man, they will go and watch the movie 2 or 3 times opening weekend, often. And that's one of the reasons the MCU was so successful, because basically you can count on triple the sales that you would have expected for a movie that should be expected to perform similarly, based on just, the target audience seeing the movie once in the same weekend. So
yeah, well, and not only all that, but men are your target demo here. Like, they just are. It's sort of like, how many dudes do you know that had Pinterest boards?
Actually, we have one for the show. There is a Brushfire Mind Pinterest board. I probably haven't looked at it in 5 years. I don't know if it does anything, but when I was first putting together the marketing stuff for the show,
just stop.
I made one.
Just stop.
But the fact is, none.
Just okay.
I was, and
except for you.
Well, I was hoping to attract more women to our audience.
Oh, I see.
Because
okay.
they have husbands with money that can be spent.
Right.
On coffee.
Right.
At buymeacoffee.com/brushfiremind.
We need to just have a link that you can add in the comments of
it's
all.
There.
And we need to get in the habit of pumping that at every show. Not every show. That is a completely different show. Woo! So men are your target demo, and then you piss in their faces, and then you're like, oh, I wonder why this didn't make money. I think that's why Captain Marvel was lucky to make the money that it made, that it mysteriously made.
Yeah, I still haven't seen Captain Marvel either. And not just because of what's-her-face's stunt actress. Brie Larson.
Yes, I'm tracking. But again, what's funny about this to me is they
that
built
bitch had so little ass, we had to hire an extra one.
What's funny they subbed in Bryce Dallas Howard for her. We photoshopped her ass to make it look why?
She came out in the costume, but she was so flat ass. We were just like, come on, we're gonna glue a couple of midgets to this bitch.
Anyhow, but Woke Wednesday, and it's funny to me.
Let's do this. Just hold on.
Okay. Woke Wednesday, and it's funny to me because they built this behemoth, and now it's turning on them, and it's predictable. It's like in the story of the golem turns on the guy that makes the golem. Okay? Read Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Hell, read. It'll be very difficult for you.
Read a book. Oh.
Stop. That is
not a sports page.
Stop. You can't throw me off that way. Okay, we should just stop right there.
Not a magazine.
We should just stop right there.
Y'all be safe out there. We love you, and we'll see you tomorrow.
It's called Speed.